coffee? Can we see it? Can we feel it? Can we smell it? The answer to those questions is yes. The first step of making coffee is locating that Keurig of yours and unplugging it and then firmly grasping it and carrying it away. Now where you're taking it is the next step. Find the nearest garbage can and just put it in there like that. And yeah. And find any accessories for the Keurig and then just, toss those in there as well and you're good. Now we can get started. And the first step of making coffee is getting all your supplies around. First thing you'll need is a scale. I use this scale right here. It's a great scale. And I use it to measure both beans and water. And you should too. And you should only measure it in grams because grams is better. Trust me, I've made coffee before. The next thing you'll need is something to actually make the coffee in. I use a Hario V60, but you're welcome to use whatever kind of coffee brewing device you like. Thirdly, you'll need something to actually grind your coffee beans in because we ain't doing no pre-ground coffee bean nonsense here. It's fresh ground or the highway, baby. So get yourself something to grind with. I have a handheld grinder right here. It's adjustable, and make sure you get a conical burr grinder because bladed grinders just don't do it. It's too uneven, inconsistent, and crappy. Fourthly, I hope that's a word, you'll want to get a water kettle for heating up your water for your coffee. I have one right here. The design looks like it was jacked from the Hario one, but that's what you get with what you pay for it. Anyway, moving on. Fifthly, we need beans. Right here is a fantastic Ethiopian single origin I picked up from Trade Coffee Company, not a sponsor, but I will be open to it. And they are fantastic. I am a light to medium roast kind of guy, and if you like a dark roast coffee,
stop it. Get some help.
Next, heat up your water to between 195 and 205 degrees Fahrenheit. If you do not have a thermometer built into your kettle, that's okay. Get it boiling and pull it off and wait for 30 seconds and it should be at a good temperature. Next up, weighing your beans and make sure to give yourself plenty of room for your hands. I always shoot for 20 grams of beans to every 400 grams of coffee that I want. If you want a stronger brew, go ahead and add more beans, add less water. You do you. Next up, grind your beans. You want them fine, but not too fine. Coarse, but not too coarse. Next, get out your filter, get it ready, give it a little fold, pop it in, give it a little taparoo, then tell yourself you're doing a great job. This next step is very crucial. Make sure that you always wet your filter with your hot water to ensure that you do not get a papery or filtery taste in your cup. And make sure to dump the water before you start brewing, or sip it out if you live in California. Pranked? Once you're done wetting the filter, go ahead and put the grounds in. I always provide my grounds with a little bit of a love tap, but that could be tossed up to my weird quirky side. Make sure your grounds are flat. When you're ready to begin pouring, do one pour of 50 grams. I find that 50 grams is the adequate amount to fully saturate your grounds, so that when you do pour to 400, you do not have to worry about water being soaked up by the grounds and throwing off your measurements. Once you do a pour of 50, go ahead and clear the scale and get ready for your first actual pour. Let's talk some more numbers, eh? I like to do a 40-60 ratio using only 5 pours when I make coffee. This means that I pour 40% in my first 2 pours and I pour 60% in my last 3 pours. Let's apply those numbers to what I'm doing right now. So I'm shooting for 400 grams of coffee, so my first 2 pours will be 80 grams each and my last 3 pours will also be 80 grams each. My pouring technique is relatively simple, just kind of a spiral from outside to inside. Also, I've been raising up and down my kettle to kind of further agitate the grounds. Seems to work pretty well. Once you've repeated that process 4 more times, you're ready to cup into your favorite mug. I like this one. This one's my favorite. After that, go ahead and give it a taste. Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to see more like this, let me know.